What's up, Grown and Sexy Nation? This is Adaceo, and
Iyen.
we're here talking to Edgar Cole, the author and also filmmaker.
Yes.
We appreciate you joining us for this Grown and Sexy Business Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
Name of your company is One Team Publishing and Film.
Yes, we've been in existence since 2011, and we're an independent publishing company. We publish independent books, ebooks, and we also do documentaries, short films, and on occasion music videos.
You know, we really do appreciate you being here local. You know, there's so many people that want to get into film, want to get into books. You definitely are someone that can be a trendsetter, and a lot of people can follow your example, and support you. Can you tell everybody about your current book that you're putting out?
I sure can. It's called Reporter from Hell. It's about a young man who's trying to find his way in life while he's growing up in an environment plagued with drugs, violence, evil, and despair. The book is fictional, but it's based on the streets of Nashville between the 80s and early 90s, and it looks at the cause and effects of why all of a sudden we had this boost in drug activity and how it affected our community. And in the book, I explained that I believe that was more than a coincidence. It was a time, it was with Reaganomics and a lot of things that was going on. And I feel like the black community at that time was just pretty much just left to defend for themselves.
Right. It's almost like they flew the drugs in, and then, just basically like on Godfather, they said let the blacks kill themselves.
Right. They're savages anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that movie very well.
Yeah, from different aspects, like some people took the drugs, some people sold the drugs. From my perspective, it's sad all the way around. It's sad. But from what I saw growing up in the ghetto was that nobody won. And like the one that was selling, they felt like they were winning because they got all the money, but you killing your people, So it was sad. And then too, the thing that I kind of thought about was like, we tend to want to always blame somebody else. Yeah, they did bring it in, but we're accountable for being the one to sell or being the one to take it or whatever. But I'm glad that, that you're telling the story so that these young people can understand that it's systematic. This is not coincidence. They have an agenda, and we need to get one.
Right. We're following basically what they want us to do.
Well, think about what they call it. They call it the trap. They call it the trap for a reason because
so true.
It's like, this is the resource you have. This is the only way that we're going to show you how to feed your family and get ahead in America.
Sad.
But you can't get out. And you're going to either die or go to prison
forever
in this lifestyle. And I think they did that it's also another coincidence that we lost a lot of leaders in the late 70s. They killed Malcolm. They killed Martin.
Well, I wouldn't say coincidence. It ain't no coincidence. Right, they know what it is.
They killed Malcolm Evans. This left and right. Our leaders was going down. So what do you do to any body if you cut off the head? The body
is
dies.
dead.
That's a very interesting point.
And then what they did after we ride, and so frustrated and tore up the community, like we're going to give you something to pacify yourself. You came out of physical slavery, so now we're going to give you chemical slavery. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it seems like we were trying to get past that. We got off the heroin in the 70s. Here come the 80s. We weren't really messing with cocaine too much. We was more like marijuana.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, let's put in Reaganomics. That comes to economic despair.
Yeah.
The trickle-down theory, I learned about that when I took the classes at University of Louisville in economics. Basically what happens is it's like the top tier of the earners say, we're going to trickle down anything to the overhead, the workers. We're going to dictate what they're going to get. We're going to limit what they can make, but we're going to maximize shareholder profits. Mm-hmm. Like when you go to business school now, anybody can tell you this. If it's undergrad or grad school, the first thing you learn is to maximize shareholder wealth. Yeah. What happened to stakeholder wealth? Stakeholder wealth is the workers.
The people, yeah.
The people.
Yeah.
What happened to the good 20
They don't matter anymore.
They cut that
But
out.
see, this is you know what? I'm all about solutions. And what I find is that we need to quit giving our power to things and stuff. Yeah, you need a house, you need shelter, you need certain things, but you don't have to buy into the $2,000 shoes and the different things like that. Buy schools, buy some, get some homeschooling going, get some things going to build your mind.
Right.
Because now we're in mental slavery, brother. Can you agree?
I agree with that. And you know what? I agree with you about having solutions, and that's the perfect point of the innovative side of One Team.
Okay.
Because we show people how to start small business.
Okay.
I believe entrepreneurship is the way for the future. Because it's like we were talking about, it's not too many opportunities that they're giving us. You know, even though you might have the degrees, what they're using now? You're overqualified.
Right.
What in the hell is that? Overqualified?
That's a new one.
So I thought if I apply for this position, the most qualified person gets it. So you're saying not only am I qualified,
but I'm overqualified.
So you're not going to give me an opportunity to
That's
earn
what I'm saying.
and pay back these tens or either hundreds of $1,000s that I just accumulated by believing this dream that you sold me.
See.
So what we have to do is, like we were talking about in Nashville, what's happening is it's not that many big paying jobs coming to Nashville. It's entrepreneurs coming here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And starting their own trend, starting little coffee shops.
You said, like you said, recreate that money. Recreate that money.
Anything that's trendy right now, refurnished furniture. They make it on themselves. And what I'm saying is I'm trying to get our community to do the same thing through entrepreneurship or anybody who feels disenfranchised.
So let me ask you this. Do you have classes like during the week, or give me some information on your the innovative side of your business? Where can we, get a class? Or
you can go to my website, oneteam615.com, and I show all the services that we have. And the only thing you have to do is hit us up, and we can get started from there.
Okay, that sounds good.
You made some great points. Especially, when you talk about the leaders being killed. When you think about Malcolm X, he was for the violent side. But when you think about Martin Luther King, he was for peaceful.
But think about this. When did they kill Malcolm? They killed Malcolm when he came back from Mecca.
Yeah.
So he was at a peaceful point.
Right. He had changed his whole philosophy, because when he went to Mecca, before he was with the Nation of Islam, and then when he went to Mecca, he said it's people that are not just black that are Muslim, there's people white. Now, I'm a Christian, but still, I believe in pluralism, so I kind of support everybody's religion. That's
There's only but one God, so
right,
I understand.
I believe it all fits together as one. That's something I learned in
whatever
college
ritual,
too,
whatever you need to do to serve.
Right, wherever God puts you at, that's your test. Are you going to follow this? Okay, if I put you in the land to be a Buddhist, are you going to follow the Buddhist way? If I put you in the land to be a Muslim, are you going to follow the Muslim way? If I put you in the land to be a Christian, are you going to follow these Christian ways? Wow. If I put you in the land to be a Jewish, are you going to follow these Jewish ways? Or are you going to go against my ways and go to man's ways and corrupt it all?
Right. Walking in
Because
power.
a man cannot direct his own step.
Right.
Because each religion teaches us to have compassion and peace with others. Yeah. So why are we doing it? Why are we having wars over religion and over money and power?
Yeah.
That's by design. Completely by design.
Yeah, so it's time to rise up. So, I find myself in a lot of these discussions, and it's like, it's cool, we can vent, we can say what it is, because it is what it is. At the same time, what are we going to do about it? And I challenge even myself every day to learn something new, to teach something to somebody that's willing, to be something different. You know what I'm saying? I can change my hairstyle, just to keep it spicy, and to not give up, to keep myself motivated, and to be a leader, so, and I charge everybody else to do the same, because I'm like, what are you going to do? And everybody's not that leader to go gather up people. I'm talking about leading, being the best, at starting small businesses, or lead at being the person that's networking to get other businesses together, tying your community together like Adaceo, different things like that. So, I ask you, community, what are you going to do?
Right.
And this is something else that's new in the 21st century. It's not about racism anymore.
Yeah.
It's only about two classes that exist anymore. That's the haves and the have-nots.
All right.
They don't care what color you are. They just want to know how much green you have.
Real talk.
So that's why I talk about anybody who feels disenfranchised, or anybody who wants to find a way out, because we are equal opportunity company,
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't matter what color you are, what your background is. If you're trying to get ahead and you feel like you've been disenfranchised and you want to create wealth for yourself, you need to look at entrepreneurship, and that's what we're here to do.
All right.
Well, we definitely appreciate you giving back. That's what's needed. That's what'll keep these knuckleheads. I know you've probably seen the news, what's going on at TSU.
Yes.
That's what will keep them from doing those type of things. Because it's almost like, what gives them the heart to actually go up there and pull that trigger?
Yeah.
And be prepared to kill somebody for what? They don't have any
hope.
They don't have no hope
But you know what?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people out here lost.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at a lot of colleges, they got these random shooters. It's not just TSU. It's white schools as well. It's mixed schools as well. You know, people, like I said, there's sick people run up on campus and doing sick things. It's the environment that we're in right now.
Yeah, and it's the lack of understanding. This is, you know, of course I'm a mother. I'm a nurturer, woman, feminine energy. But to me, it's the lack of, so like for me, as a compassionate person, I see myself in you. Yeah, I've never seen you a day in my life, brother, but I mean, I wouldn't hurt you because I wouldn't hurt myself. And so when we get our kids back balanced like that through sharing books and ideas and uplifting their ideas and challenging them to think of new ideas, then, you know, they will begin to see themselves in other people. We are one. That's what that means. We are one. We are one and the same. Don't treat me bad. Don't treat him bad. Don't treat yourself bad. Y'all are the same. It's something that he do that you need. It's something that you do that he needs. You know, we're one. You know, so when we start to see ourselves in other people and see ourselves as equal to everybody, then we begin to find that our true power, and we'll begin to operate in that. That's something that I really preach all the time. But, you know, I'm going to preach right now. You know.
Hey,
but, yes, I believe
that's much needed knowledge that people need to hear.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think it's through empowerment, education, and like for me, like I said, entrepreneurship. Just those three things right there can really change our community a whole lot.
True.
And I think it's just more people just need to step up to the plate and willing to step out there and do things for our community. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah. Be an example. I appreciate you for being an example.
Thank
you know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You look all distinguished. I was like, who is this gentleman coming here? I mean, you know, no flirting or nothing like that. just seeing myself in you, brother. I was like, look at this brother. He's like, yes, and I'm an author.
Oh yeah, he's about
like,
business.
All right, Mr. Edgar.
So definitely, we appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Once again, you want to tell everybody how to get a hold of you and where to get your book?
Yes, you can go to the website oneteam615.com. Or if you're just looking for the book in particular, Reporter from Hell, it's available on Amazon.com. Here locally in Nashville, it's at Eastside Story and Kimeline Books.
All right.
Okay. Shout out to Kimeline. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.